If you're an African founder in London, New York, Toronto, Amsterdam, and your business is stuck, this is going to be very uncomfortable. You left everything behind to build something here, and it is working. So, why does it feel like a ceiling you can't break through? Clients are happy, you're showing up every day, but you've been at the same level for 2, maybe even 4 years. Because the problem is not your effort, it's not the market, it's not luck, it's that instinct that got you here are the exact things stopping you from going further. And the most African founders in diaspora never see it because they are too busy surviving to notice they've stopped growing. There are 6 patterns I keep seeing in diaspora founders who are working harder than anyone in the room and still not scaling. If any one of these sounds familiar, stay with me because we're fixing this today. Let's get gritty. I spent 20 years building brands of global automotive giants, earned an MSc in marketing, and right now I'm a doctoral researcher decoding the African consumer. I've sat in the boardrooms, I've read the textbooks, and I've watched both get it wrong about African founders. That is why I'm here. Here is what nobody tells you. When you land abroad, African markets reward adaptability. You move fast, you read the room, you find the gap, and you fill it. That's survivor. That's what built you. But Western markets reward systems, clarity, consistency, and repeatability. Look at where African and diaspora business actually concentrate globally. New York, London, Toronto, and Atlanta. These are not random cities. These are structured markets where business can scale by aligning with the systems. And that's the difference. The instincts that built you in Lagos, Accra, Nairobi, or Joburg can cap you here. Not because they are wrong, but because they were built for a different fight. This is not about abandoning who you are. It's about knowing which tools to keep and which ones to upgrade. Let's break it down, mistake by mistake. Mistake number 1, you're the business. Let me be direct. Right now, in your business, you're the brand, your sales, your operations, your customer service, and it works because people trust you. But there is a ceiling on every human being. And when you're the business, that ceiling becomes your business ceiling. Across the UK, you will find African-owned businesses 5 years in, 7, 10, still one location, owner-led, and no expansion plan. That's not failure, that's stagnation. And there is a difference. Now compare that to Turkish barbers or Pakistani food shops or eateries. Same cities, same streets, one shop becomes 5, 5 becomes 15, 20 becomes the franchise. Why? Because the system travels, not the owner. Stop asking, how do I work harder? Start asking, how do I build something that works without me? The mistake number 2. Community is your strategy. Community is powerful, let's be clear about that. The data backs it. According to the 2025 Orient Pay UK Nigerian report, 77% of Nigerians in the UK spend between £50 and £500 every month at African-owned businesses. That's real money, real loyalty, real demand. But here's what the data also tells you. That spending is driven by connection, familiarity, trust, not systems. Which means the moment your consistency drops, the loyalty drops, and you're starting again. Think about Dishum, Indian diaspora brand. They didn't build a restaurant empire on community alone, they built it on experience. The kind that feels identical, whether it's your first visit or your 15th. That's the system. Community gets people through the door, process keeps them coming back. Mistake number 3, you sell everything. If you stand for everything, you stand for nothing, my dear. Let me paint you a picture. You walk into a business named after a specific African dish. One name, clear identity. You're expecting focus. You look around, groceries there, donuts there, household items, catering, phone accessory, everything I mean. This is survivor thinking. If it moves, sell it. And to be fair, that logic works in unpredictable markets. When tomorrow is uncertain, you hedge. You stay flexible. But in a structured market, confusion kills growth. A confused customer doesn't ask questions, they leave. In the same vein, confused brand don't scale either. Now, look at Shop and Block in the US. One lane, West African fast casual. One identity, one experience, one promise. And they scaled it. You don't grow by adding more, you grow by going deeper. Mistake number 4. Everyone is your customer. A market of everyone is a market of no one. I serve Africans. Sound like a market. It isn't. It's a continent. 1.4 billion people, 54 countries. Completely different needs, habits, and buying behaviors. The businesses that scale don't start broad. They start narrow. Not Africans in London, but Nigerian mothers in East London, aged 30 to 45, running households on dual incomes, who don't have time but won't compromise on taste. That is a customer. And here is why it matters. People don't buy when they understand your product. They buy when they feel understood. There is a difference, and it is everything. Define your customer precisely. The narrower your definition, the faster your growth. Then expand from there. Up to now, we've been talking about getting customers. Mistake number 5 is where most businesses give that money straight back, and that is visibility without structure. Being seen is not a strategy. You have Instagram, you have WhatsApp broadcast, maybe a website. You're posting, you're showing up, and people see you, but nothing converts. Because visibility is not a system, it's presence. And presence without structure is leakage. Here's what I mean. Someone sees your post, they like it, maybe they follow you. Then what? Where do they go? What do they do? What do they sign up for? How do you follow up? When do they buy? If you can't answer those questions, you don't have a funnel, you have a floodlight. Bright, visible, but lighting up nothing in particular. Now, here is what it looks like when you get this right. Nigerian fashion designers spotted something the American prom market. They didn't just post beautiful dresses on Instagram and hope for the best. They built a pipeline. TikTok for discovery, Instagram for sales, WhatsApp for customer service and fittings. That is a full global sales funnel built on free tools. The BBC reported this in 2025. Designer Shakirat Arigbabu of Kira's Fashion Cave in Ibadan. In 2019, she had 50 prom dress orders. By 2025, that number hit 1,500 in one season. 5 designers combined fulfilled over 2,800 orders, most of them shipped to the United States. And according to the designers themselves, prom orders account for up to 25% of their annual revenue. They didn't go viral and hope for the best. They built a structure, but that turns attention into a transaction year after year. Every touch point needs to lead somewhere. Attention leads to trust, trust leads to conversion, conversion leads to retention. That is the structure. Map it, build it, then be visible. Visibility gets attention, structures gets revenue. Mistake number 6, you're not building lifetime value. You're not losing customers, you're wasting them. Let's go back to the data. 77% of Nigerians in the UK are already spending monthly on African businesses. Average spending around £150 a month. That's £1,800 a year per customer. Now ask yourself one question. What system do you have to capture that? No loyalty program, no follow-up sequence, no retention strategy. Customer comes in, has a great experience, walks out, and you start again from scratch. Finding the next one, that is the real leak. Look at Turkish and Lebanese food businesses. Same customers every week, every month for years. That's not just great food, that's a retention system. Stop asking, how do I get more customers? Start asking, how do I make every customer worth more? Here's the thing. African markets taught you how to move. Western markets demand that you build. And those are not the same thing. Motion looks like progress. Also feels like growth. But busy is not the same as scaling. If you keep moving without ever building, you will stay busy but stuck. Not because the market rejected you, but because motion is not momentum. Most diaspora businesses don't fail, they stall. Not because of lack of effort, but because effort without structure has a ceiling. and that ceiling is you. 6 mistakes, 6 shifts. Running everything through you, using community as a strategy instead of a foundation, selling everything to everyone, defining your market too broadly by targeting a continent instead of a customer, being visible without being intentional, acquiring customers without retaining them. If even one of these landed well with you, your next move is not to work harder. Your next move is to build smarter. And the work starts now, not next quarter, not when things slow down. It starts now. And if you're looking at expanding to Africa, it is linked at the end of this video. It's called Business Schools Got Africa Wrong, what they don't teach you about the market. Or you want to dive into the full playlist, Understanding African Business Strategy. That will show you exactly what the market is demanding that most diaspora founders never see. That's what this channel is for. Subscribe now, because every week we're giving African founders the strategic edge, the kind that closes the gap between working hard and actually scaling. Real frameworks, real data, real markets. That is GidiGrit. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's get gritty.